Hey, turbers and toy train lovers. Sorry I have not uploaded any films in quite some time, but I blew my knee out, which made it impossible to. I was on crutches and then on cane and then a brace. Made it impossible to reach some of my trains and move around. Then I caught a cold, and then I was coughing all the time. You still may hear the end of my cold, but at any rate, my subscriber asked me how to oil a post-war train. And at first I thought, well, everybody knows how to oil a train. Well, what if I never owned a train before? What if I just bought one on eBay? It was used. It didn't have the instructions like this one did. I got this in 1947. Well, this was made in 1947. I wasn't even born in 1947. But I got it as a hand-me-down from my brother in the 50s. And I had the instructions on how to oil it. So I used my mother's Singer sewing machine oil, which actually worked quite well. And here's an oiling point up here, oiling point right 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 here, oiling point behind all this onto the side gear for the front drive wheel, oiling point right here, middle wheel, and oiling point right here. And I picked this particular train because this has the most oiling points of any. And it also has gears which are exposed, which many trains do not have. And so now you know why I have the white envelope up here to protect my train from the track. You want to put a dab of oil right here, little grease around the screw, little grease right here, little grease right here, little grease right here, oil, 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 being careful not to get the oil on your center pickups. Now this does not have magnet traction, however my screwdriver is sticking to it because I just was working on a magnet traction train and it transferred some of the magnetism over to it. A little bit of oil right here, a little bit of oil here, a little bit of oil here. And a drop of oil goes a long ways. So does a little dab of grease. Actually, by greasing this middle wheel, you're going to wind up greasing the other wheels. And I would also suggest going down in here. While you're down here, check for carpet fibers, for human hair, for pet hair. They'll bind this right up. Same with this. Little dab of oil. Make sure it's clean. Little dab of oil. Little dab of oil. What I'm doing is I'm going between the wheel and the frame of the locomotive. Little dab of oil. Now, if you've never oiled one before, you're probably going to put too much oil on it, and you will find out because your train will start slipping. And so you want to follow it after you've run it around the track a few times with a rag. If you can reach everything, like I can reach most of my track on my layout. Some of it I can't. I have a little track cleaning car, which is a caboose that a guy made with a little rag on the bottom that can be changed. And that's it. It's pretty simple. This is a nice one. The wheels will move. You'll see a gear up here. This is for the bellows of the smokestack to make it puff. Okay, let's move this. And I'm going to show you a switcher. Which is quite a bit different. This is also post-war. This one's really simple. Now this is a 614 Alaskan Railroad. Move this up a little closer and you will see, why is this axle thicker than this one? Well, Lionel got cheap. They used to put magnet traction on both axles. They only put it on this one. But it's still nice to have it up front because it tends to keep this on the track, and I've never derailed it. Seriously, I've never derailed it. So we want to, once again, go between the frame and the wheel, put a drop of oil here, put a drop of oil here, put a drop of oil. Look at how this screwdriver sticks to this. Put a drop of oil here, put a drop of oil here, and then put some gear lube on this gear and turn the wheels until, well, this one won't turn by itself. I have some that will, some that won't. And run it around the track until you can just barely see a little bit of lubrication on all these notches for the gears. Don't overdo it, once again. Now, you're going to want to do the same thing with this. Let me get a good look at this. Okay, I see how it's attached. It's attached to a frame that comes out to here. You want to put a little dab of a drop of oil between here and the frame. You can see it easier down here. Between here and the frame, you want to go drop of oil here, drop of oil here, being careful not to get it on the center pickups, drop of oil here on the spring, drop of oil here, and repeat. And that's it. It's pretty simple. I use something called liquid bearings for my oil, and I find it to be a really good oil. And so I don't have my mother's Singer sewing machine oil anymore. And the gear lube is Hobby Lube. And I believe I picked it up from a local hobby store here in town. Now, although this wasn't requested, let's get a Marx out. Show you the bottom of a Marx. This is a 3000 Canadian Pacific. And got this way too close. You're going to want to give it a drop here of oil. You're going to want to give it a drop here where the rod goes into the frame. You're going to want to put some gear lube on this gear. This is a single reduction motor. There, you can see it a lot closer right now. So this is the gear that comes out of the motor. This is the gear that goes to each wheel. And this is the type of motor which will not go over Lionel switch. It will derail. Why? Because it has the gears right on the edge of the wheel. So you want to put some make sure these are all lubed, all these gear teeth. And once again, don't go nuts with your oil and with your lubrication. This is not like putting ketchup on French fries. The less, the better. Okay. I'm going to put some oil here. Drop of oil here. Drop of oil here. Drop of oil here. And then wipe it off. Doesn't wind up down on your track. Drop of oil here. The axle and the wheel meet the frame. And drop of oil here. And make sure these wheels are spinning free of the axle. See, they're going it's hard to tell my finger here, but I'm pushing them the opposite direction. So you will see part of this pickup is missing. But this is the pickup for a Marx, the old pickup, the originals. And this still works, still makes contact with the track, but it should look more like this. But I hadn't realized that that was missing till I just pulled this thing over. I just pulled this motor out, threw it in this engine, and didn't even notice that that piece of the pickup was missing. So now I have to replace it. So, saw it through the camera first. She's in pretty good shape for, I believe, 1938. So anyway, that's how you oil your trains. It's pretty easy. Just don't, once again, don't overdo it. And thanks for watching. I'll come up with something else pretty soon now that I'm moving around better. And I sure have enjoyed watching your uploads, my subscribers. Stuck here at my desk, my crutches and my knee in a brace. It was sure fun to see RJ's and R's trains, and RJ, who has a different name for his site, but he went out to Baltimore Harbor and went out to an old fort with another train guy, and they found snakes, not poisonous, but they found snakes. They found tunnels. They found places where you shouldn't go, but it was really cool. And so it was like I had legs and I was with them. So I really enjoyed that. So thank you, subscribers. Hope this didn't bore you too much, you people who have had trains for years. But we got to help these newcomers. Stop complaining about not enough people aren't in trains anymore, and then not helping them. Close up, my 3000. And once again, this has been a big Lizard production. And bye-bye.